Hey everybody, welcome back to BeamNG.drive. Alright, we are not doing another tough car challenge because obviously we are in the splash screen. We are doing another bus route. So, what route are we going today? Well, first off, we need to decide a map. Let's try the city, West Coast. We'll select that. We'll select a route. We have a lot of routes here. We have the number 1 Star Diner, the number 2 Belasco Boulevard Riverway Plaza, the number 3 Convention Center and Ford Street, the number 4 Central Hospital via Convention Center. We have the number 5 Ford Street Little China and the number 6 Logan Park and Royal Bank. Interesting. I think the... Oh, let's see. Oh, did something freeze up? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Just seeing how many stops we got here. That's a lot of stops, but I think we're going to go this one, the number 1 Star Diner. Looks like a very nice long route, goes around almost the entire route. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose the version of the DT40 that we want. Let's see. Okay, so this is the city bus. Yeah, we're gonna want to go with the city bus, so we'll go ahead and select that, and we are gonna go ahead and click play and get going. All right, guys, we are in the bus. We're gonna click start. 3, 2, 1. Bus is in gear, and away we go. We might make this light. We will make this light. So, bum. So our first stop is going to be Snooze News right here in front of us. Gonna start bringing the bus to a nice safe stop, even though the bus is currently empty. Alright, turn our hazards on, parking brake, kneel and doors. Wait the 5 seconds. Release, parking brake, and turn our left blinker on. Because we are now clear to go. Check mirror and blind spot, we're clear. And off we go. Just inch up to the red light and wait for it to turn green. So, I like to... these are going to be kind of fun for the time being because this really... I'm going to try to do all of them. I'm going to do every route, and I think I'm going to do that with you guys. Because I think this is something you guys might actually enjoy. And who knows, maybe I'll include certain stories from back in the day that were kind of humorous and just random things that happened. And we'll see. I mean, I did do one of the runs in East Coast. Unfortunately, there was a sound issue because I was not using Fraps or Relive, which is what I'm using right now. I was using Streamlabs OBS because I was trying it out because I am planning on using that to live stream with. And while the quality of everything was fantastic, I was very happy with the quality, I still need to work on levels, and unfortunately I didn't check it. I just set it and went, and that was a bad idea. So unfortunately that kind of bit me in the ass. Unfortunately, shit happens. What else is new? Nobody's coming, so we'll go ahead, and it's green, so we'll go ahead and pull out, swing it over, and let off the blinker. Now, fun note, and I think I will have to steal the mouse. Yep, I'm going to steal the mouse for a minute. In the buses I used to drive, in most transit buses, the turn signals are foot mounted. They're right there. So, kind of a little interesting tidbit that I thought I would share. That way the driver, for the most part, while they are operating the vehicle, and that messed my track IR up, now it's fixed. While they're operating the vehicle, it's in motion, they have both hands on the wheels. They're not lifting it to click a turn signal stock anywhere. So at least that's how the main buses were. Those super low floors I mentioned I think I mentioned before, didn't. So they unfortunately did not have that. Oh, and I didn't have my blinker on. How terrible of me. Everything's up. We're good to go. So those had a turn signal stock, but those are also very weird little buses. Alright, looking ahead here. I need to get over a lane because I'm not exiting. I'm staying on the road here. Oh, red light, red light, red light, red light, red light, red light. Come on, come to a stop. Really? Oh. That is so terrible placement. Alright, I'm going to have to just run it because I can't see it. That was very, unfortunately, terrible placement. It looks like we're going to be going to the right. So, check the mirrors. Nobody's coming, so I'll just swing over. And I will take the right turn. And swing right into our bus stop near the Clayton Gate Bridge. Hazards, parking, park brake, and lower it and hit the kneeler. Alright. Go ahead, do that, and put her back in gear, and away we go. Okay, fun story time. Story time. For a while when I was driving the big buses, because there's a stint that I drove big buses, and the stint, which is the majority of the last 2 years I drove the smaller buses. During the main stint in my big bus driving, I drove an express route between the area I worked for and two of the major nearby towns. And one particular time I was heading up to the bigger of the two towns. It was about an hour and a half one way, including all the stops. Normally it was about a 45-minute drive, but with being in a 40-foot-long bus that was limited to that bus in particular was limited to 55, 60 miles an hour. It just took time. Go ahead and go into this lane. So, anywho, I was driving to the town that I was driving the evening one, and a nasty snowstorm befell Northeast Ohio. Go figure, it was winter. So I make a general announcement over my PA, just so everybody kind of already knew this. But it's a convenience factor, saying, hey, everybody, I'm sure you guys see this. The roads are bad. I'm going to be straight with you. I'm taking my time because I want us all to get there in one piece. So, at this point, we aim to be safe instead of trying to be on time. I apologize for any inconvenience this will cause. Is unfortunately that it is. I apologize for the inconvenience. And everybody, except for one gentleman, completely understood, and they were okay with it. This one gentleman came up and started bitching me out, saying it's not that bad out, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm on a major expressway. It's covered. You don't know where the lanes are. You don't know where either shoulder is. You don't know where the left or the right lane are. I figure I am in the right lane. Because I did not hit rumble strips at any point, you know? Oh, can't see past it. There we go. So, I tell him, it's like, well, unfortunately, the roads are rather slick, blah, 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 blah. He's not wanting to hear it. At the same time, a little red, I think it was a Subaru Impreza, an older one, decided that he wanted to be king shit and go around me. which is absolutely fine. It's well within his reasoning. Alright, that's good. Lift it up. Wait for everything to come up. And my interlock's released, and away we go. Next stop, the Agave Lookout. Anybody coming? Doesn't look like it. I'm just gonna cut it and keep rolling. So anyway, this little red Subaru goes past me. And right after, as I'm about to have another round with him, because he's still up here right next to me, like, he was, I'm going to steal the mouse away from the camera. He was, like, right in this area, okay? So, needless to say, he was in, there we go. He was right in an area where he was pretty bad. So, whatever, it is what it is, such is life. I don't know why this... There we go. Anyway. And so he goes this. We go around a corner, and I'll iterate this again. The roads are completely snow covered. So I was doing about 40. He was doing 65. You guys can kind of guess what is going to happen here. We go around the corner. I mean, it was as light as this corner, if not even lighter. And the rear end gives out on his car, and he starts fishtailing. He's fighting. He is fighting the good fight. I mean, he almost has it, but he runs out of road and ends up losing it and spins 180 degrees and goes into the guardrail ass first and just goes down the guardrail about 20 feet. And as soon as he gets past, he starts to lose it. I got on my brakes and told the gentleman, with all due respect, wait a second. He's lost it. He's gonna lose it. And he goes into the guardrail. I move over as far to the left as I can, get around him, keep going. And I look at that gentleman and he's like, did you see that little car? He's like, yeah, that's a Subaru. Those are for all-wheel drive. He wrecked. I'm rear-wheel drive. And I'm rear engine, so all the weight in this bus is behind me, is in the back. If we lose it, it's going to be a whole lot uglier than it was for him. So, yeah, the roads are bad. He's like, yeah, I'm shutting up and going back to my seat. And I was like, okay, thank you. I appreciate you going back to your seat. I ignored the fact that he said shutting up. In the back of my mind, it's like, duh. But this is also a little narrow for a 40-foot bus. But, and I say that, and I was talking about how, yes, the other day when I was driving that bus on the Utah map, it's like, this is tight. No, that was tighter. So, we're not... It feels like we're going so much faster because we're only doing about 30 miles an hour right now. There's the bus stop. Agave Lookout. Click my hazards on. Parking brake. Kneel it doors. Put it in neutral. 4, 3, 2, 1. Doors. Kneel it. Parking brake. Put it back in gear. And we're clear. And away we go. Next one is the Single Pine Motel. Okay. This will be interesting. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. So, that was very interesting. I mean, there's been other weather-related incidents. I mean, let's see. Another good one is I was not that same night, but I was on the same route. I was in downtown at my last time point before I got back on the highway to head back to base, and there's a pull-off where the whole road that this time point on was covered. Like, plows had not touched it. It was at another university in town. That university was closed for the day. Luckily, the building was unlocked, so I was able to go inside and take a whiz, because I needed it. Like, being on the road long enough, and I was already running late that day, so it's like, you know, when you gotta take a whiz, you gotta take a whiz. And ended up getting stuck. And, well, not really stuck because I got out, but it was so hard because the road was covered and the time point was on. It was a light grade, a little bit steeper than this grade that we're on right now. So it was just enough that gravity's already pulling against the vehicle to go back down 30 feet to the base of the hill. And it took a lot of finagling and a lot of very ginger pedal work, but because the bus would start to go forward, it'd lose traction and slide back. Okay, I would reverse, and here I'd reverse about a foot. Try it again. And each time I went a little farther, and I knew if I could build just enough momentum, I'll keep going. So it was honestly a constant fight. Single Pine Motel. It was just a fight just to get enough momentum going. And it was ridiculous. I thought, oh, I did nail it. Assholes. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Doors. Raise. Parking brake off. Hazards off. Heading towards the East Horizon Estates now. So that was a very fun day. So needless to say that it was just like those the things that stress you out, you know. Oh, we're turning. I'm glad there's no traffic. This is just kind of a time trial. So there we go. And now kind of getting on the freeway, so I have my foot down. There we go. About 55. Bus is gaining speed past it. I am not on the gas right now. Merge over. Yeah, and we're about top speed. This thing does 58. So this actually will work for us. So looks like we're pushing 60 now, because I think we're going downhill. Start riding the brakes just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Which way am I going? Looks like I am turning left. The way it angled, I thought I was going to the right, but oh well. Okay. Just waiting on this light, so. But yeah, it was interesting to say the least. Yeah, the weather, that is one thing that I really don't miss. Not only did it just make the bad weather, especially the snow, made life so much more dangerous, but it also put us in positions that as drivers we didn't want to be in. I remember I was driving the other express route, and I come up to a stop, and I'm running about 45, 50 minutes behind right now. Like, I'm supposed to have already been done for my day and clocked out and going home. And I was just getting it, I was about a quarter of the way through my final lap of the night. So that gives you an idea. I was very far behind. East Horizon Estates. Oh. Come to a stop, neutral, parking brake, lower it, and hit the doors. So, I'm running behind, and it is blowing very bad. It is snowing really bad. And I come up to this one stop. Looks like we're gonna go up into the hills again. Redwood Motel. Alright. There we go. And there was these, one was a kid, one was an older gentleman in a wheelchair. No. It was two kids. One was ambulatory, one was in a wheelchair. And they were in jersey shirt and shorts. And it was borderline blizzard outside. I didn't know when the next bus was because I was now in a neighboring agency's area. I mean, I was an express route, so I didn't know anything about that company's schedules. But I knew that I stopped at the major hub. So I figured, what the hell, you know? So, again, I actually went against company policy and picked both kids up, strapped the one's wheelchair down, and they tried to pay me. No, they didn't have money. They had the other area's day passes, which we did not accept. So I was like, you know what? This is what policy is. However, I cannot just let you guys stay out in the cold. I'll cover your guys' fare myself. This is just going to be a one-time thing because of this weather. I don't like seeing anybody out in the cold, especially young people like yourselves. So I can't promise we'll make it there in time for you guys to transfer, but at least you'll be at the transit center. It's warm. You guys are out of this terrible weather. So, and they understood, and I actually got an attaboy from a couple regulars, because I'm not saying I purposely did the right thing. It's because I wanted people to say, hey, attaboy. It's one of those things where, yes, I completely admit I broke policy, and when I got back that evening, I knew what both fares were in my head. I had the cash in my wallet. I just put the money in the fare box and counted them on my final count. So, as far as the company knew, they were paying fares. So, alright, Lens Flare Studio should most likely be right up here somewhere. There, because there's Lens Flare. Am I pulling in? I am pulling in. Which means I have to find a way to turn. Hopefully there's adequate space for me to turn around. Oh, swing your big ass in here. Oh, there's nowhere to turn around. I just go down. There's another road down there, so. Alright. Bring the bus to a stop just past the sign. Neutral, parking brake, lower it, and doors. There we go. Close the doors, raise it, hazards, parking brake, put it in gear, and here we go. Last stop, the Star Diner. This is a very long route. I like it. I like the longer routes. Alright, looks like we're going to make a left right here. Oh, I bet that diner is in town, and that's kind of where I started. Which, if that's the case, that's fine. Alright, here we go. Alright, I do not have a stop sign, and there's no street marking, so I'm going to keep rolling. Go ahead and give it a little bit of gas, because some open road here. So, it's just one of the... So, yeah, at the end of the day, the fare box was even. My counts were accurate, and 2 kids that were most likely freezing their fucking balls off were at least saved from any further exposure to the cold. So, and I think we're coming up on our last stop up here, because I believe the All-Star Diner is on the other side of this light. So we will be at our stop momentarily. Or am I turning? Nope, I'm going straight because there's the thing. So go ahead, stop here, wait for the green light, which we got. Come through the intersection, hit our hazards to indicate we're pulling off. Come up to a stop just past the shelter. Neutral, parking brake. Lower it, her, and kneeler, and that is going to be it for the number 1. Do this. There we go. 24 minutes. Not bad at all, if I may say so myself. I think that is pretty cool. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have a good one.